Data is the lifeblood of any company, and actionable insights can be the difference between success or failure. What's happening, guys? My name's Austin, and today I want to give you the next installment in our Devve educational series and dive into exactly how the Devve ecosystem can unlock the next level for AI. I know a bunch of you guys saw that Ray was speaking at an AI conference this past week, and you probably wondered to yourself, how exactly can Devve play a role in artificial intelligence? Well, I wondered the exact same thing. So let's do a quick deep dive into that very topic. So until very recently, thousands of man hours were spent by companies combing through data sets to determine the very best way to serve either themselves or the end user, depending on the company or the organization involved. Now, enter artificial intelligence. AI is the future. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. AI takes what would have taken thousands of hours and millions of dollars and distills it down to a simple prompt or an output on a computer screen. But within all the beauty and growth that AI promises, there are drawbacks that need to be contended with if it's ever going to be put to practical use in the real world. Now, many countries and companies have become increasingly concerned with the safety that surrounds artificial intelligence and also the data acquisition with which the machines are learning from. Now, AI is great and it can do a ton of stuff, but at present, it really lacks a lot of the real world application that an AI future has promised us. A lot of the reason for this isn't due to technology, but due to something called data fragmentation. Now, exactly like the name sounds, data fragmentation is when an organization's data becomes fragmented, right? It's spread across different systems, applications, and locations, and this has actually become a massive problem. So while the data may function as intended for individual tasks, its siloed nature can make it more difficult to manage, analyze, and really integrate effectively, which are all necessary components of AI. Now, data interoperability, big word, is a perfect example of a use case for blockchain. Now, for AI to reach the next level, it's going to need to venture outside of the commonly available data sets and into the currently siloed data, such as medical records or medical research. Now, what if AI could instantly diagnose an illness simply by looking at a picture? That's an AI use case that pretty much everyone can get behind, right? Now, certainly much better than, let's say, Trump riding an eagle, high-fiving a cat, right? That's what I said in one of my interviews the other day. So what if we could create a compliant, provably accurate and efficient superhighway of data that companies and governments, big and small, could use to train their AI, thereby ensuring that the once fragmented world of data was now interconnected and working for the good of all? Now, this really begs the question as to why this can't be done currently without blockchain tech being involved. And, admittedly, it could be done, right? Some data could be done in that way, assuming it doesn't have any regulatory requirements. But let's take medical data, for example. And that's an excellent example of where this is going to play a huge role. So the use of AI in the medical field literally has the ability to save lives. By harnessing the power of large data sets, hospitals, medical pioneers, and drug companies, they're more easily able to ascertain actionable insights that give conclusions that never could have been reached by using manpower alone. Now, this leads to better procedures, more effective treatments, and a greater knowledge set that allows future generations of medical students to learn leading-edge procedures in the treatment of illnesses. Here's an excellent example of this. So, medical doctors who specialize in rare disease, they only get so many opportunities to learn as they go. The lack of diverse healthcare data to train students is a key challenge in these fields. And I'm going to read you a quote real quick. When you're working in a setting with scarce data, your performance correlates with experience. The more images you see, the better you become. Now, a radiologist at the Stanford Center for AI and Medicine hypothesized that if AI could create medical images that accurately depict these rare diseases, it could alleviate that gap in training data. But there's a huge problem here. Medical data in and of itself has a legal requirement for privacy. You may have heard the term HIPAA compliance in the past. Now, HIPAA is a government act which lays out certain requirements when it comes to the storage and the transmission of protected medical data. And this ranges anywhere from how the data can be handled all the way down to the requirements, the server that the data is stored on. So let's take the example of an Ethereum or a Solana node, for example. Let's say it's running in someone's basement or who the hell knows, North Korea, right? This type of data is simply never going to be allowed to touch a network like that because it fails So many levels of compliance around location, security, infrastructure, and a ton of other checkpoints. Now, even the big name AI projects in blockchain who are attempting a distributed network of data miners, they're never going to be able to touch the most valuable information or come close to the level of change that AI and the Devve ecosystem can create. Now, this also means that every piece of equipment that touches this data also has to come into the exact same level of compliance. So I'll present it to you again. What if we could create a data superhighway that was compliant out of the box, where data could be freely shared, sold, and exchanged in a way that satisfies all HIPAA requirements while making the data easily accessible? Even more so, what if we could do it in a way where the data could be accessed but never even had to leave the server? Blockchain technology is perfect for this sort of application because it allows the integrity of the data to be preserved, but current chains on the market simply lack many of the requirements that this vital industry needs for data exchange. That's where Devve comes in. With the complete customizability of each shard, the high throughput in our RESTful API, we make data sharing in highly regulated industries not only possible, but pretty easy, actually. So this is a key component to the future of AI. For this nascent and powerful industry to flourish, strong infrastructure is going to be needed, and a chain that is uniquely situated and currently capable of meeting all the needs right out of the box. Now, that's Devve in a nutshell. Devve is ready-made to support the AI industry by providing the needed infrastructure without any need for retooling, and that's huge. That's just one of the many ways that Devve and the DevX infrastructure can affect change in the AI industry. Now, as technology grows and like more and more use cases are presented, Devve and the DevX chain have the potential to be the blockchain of equivalent of NVIDIA for Web3. Now, why is this important for Devve? Now, aside from, the obvious humanitarian advancement, every company or organization that uses Devve for their AI or language learning models, they must hold and pay in the Devve token. Now, to give some context of market size, the AI industry is approximately $200 billion in size, currently with a compounded annual growth rate of roughly 36%, which is fairly huge. Now, I know that was a lot to take in, but I want to reiterate that this is only one of the tons of different ways that the DevX network can enable and support artificial intelligence in reaching that next level of its evolution. A lot of this is going to come down to our own imaginations, and really not to mention, as new use cases are developed, the desirability of a network like Devve has the potential to grow exponentially, causing significant demand for the Devve token. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My name's Austin. I hope that made sense to y'all. If it didn't, rewatch the video. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on Telegram. My door's always open to you guys. Thanks for tuning in.